I'll talk about malas. So we are not going to work with this kind of mala. These are called mala beads. And I do use these to as a meditation tool, but that's a story for another day. The malas that we're going to work with today in the yogic tradition are referred to as cloaks or veils. And the idea is that something, usually it's a limiting belief about yourself, cloaks you so that your inner light, your inner greatness is not able to shine out. And also the light from other sources is not able to penetrate into you. So there's a real sense of disconnection. This cloak or veil disconnects us from sharing our greatness with others, sharing our light with others, and also allowing them to reach us. There are different kinds of malas or veils. When we're wearing one of these malas, we are anxious and nervous and fidgety. And when we're wearing a different kind of mala, we are depressed or sad. And then the third kind of mala that we are specifically going to work with today is called the Mayya mala, M-A-Y-I-Y-A, Mayya mala. And when this mala overcomes us, we feel a sense of disconnection. We feel a sense of separateness from others. And we all have loved ones that we are not able to be with physically. But what I'd like for us to do in our yoga practice today is throw off that veil, throw off that cloak, and find a way to connect. Find a way to let our inner greatness, our inner light shine out, and also find a way to get rid of that cloak, that mala, so that we can let others connect with us. It's a tall order, but that's what we're going to do in our practice today. Find a good seat. Once you got it, close your eyes. Connect with your breath. The breath moves in and the breath moves out. Try not to do anything to dam up your breath. There are different breathing practices where we work with damming the breath so that we can use it as a tool. But for now, I want you to have a free flow of breath. No constriction in the throat. No constriction in your belly. No constriction in your chest. Let that breath move in and out. And let this free flow of the breath be a call to you, a reminder, a totem that you can have a free flow of your light outward and a free flow of the light from other sources into you, so that we feed off of this connection of sharing our energies. Bring your hands together at your heart and let the connection of your hands in front of your heart also be a reminder, a totem, a call to connect, to remove whatever is between you and those you want to connect with. Even if you're not able to connect physically, we have other ways to share our energy. Bow your head towards your heart, making your commitment to letting that light, that greatness that's inside your heart shine out through our practice today. Release your hands down. Inhale, sit taller, lift your shoulders up, lift your head up, and then lift your eyes open. All right, let's do just a little bit of wrist opening before we get onto all fours on our mats. So make fists and roll those around. You don't have to hold them up like I am. I'm just holding them up so you can see them. Roll around a few times one way, a few times the other way. And then open up your hands, shake them out. And then interlace your fingers in front of you and make figure eights here. So just rolling around one way, tracing the 8 in one direction, and then trace the 8 in the other direction. If it's confusing, don't worry about it. Just roll those wrists around. That's all we're trying to do here. And then release and shake out. All right, if you're using music, now's the time to turn it on. I have a playlist if you want to use it. It's Virtual Yoga 8/27. And then make your way to hands and knees on your mat. All right, get the breath moving again. Tune back into the breath from all fours without moving your body, just for one round. Exhale and inhale. On your next exhale, cat pose. And on your inhale, cow pose. Do a few more rounds of cat and cow, making the connection between your breath and the movement of your body. So making connections with breath and body, with breath, body, mind, and heart through our practice is going to allow us to remove any veils that make us feel disconnected or that dim our inner light. After your next cow pose, come into a neutral spine. We'll do a little bit of hip opening here. As you inhale, take your right leg back. So you're going to lift that right knee up. You've still got a 90-degree angle in the knee, sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. Take your right knee out to the right and then down towards your left knee and then back up where you started. That's one circle. We'll do 2 more in this direction. Try to make your core strong. And then 3 circles around in the other direction. So you bring your knee down, out to the right, and then back behind you. 2 more. And then stretch your legs straight back behind you. So that's your right leg. You straightened it straight back. On an exhale, draw your right knee to your left elbow. Really hug in here. Just a teeny bit of core work. Inhale, stretch it back. 2 more of those. Exhale, pull it in. Take a little pause on the pull in. Inhale, stretch out. 1 more time, hug it in, a little squeeze there, and then inhale, stretch back, put the sole of your right foot on the floor so your toes point out to the right. Sweep your right arm forward, lifting it off the floor, take it up overhead, try to sweep it back behind you and then down to your hip and then back to the floor. That's 1 arm circle. We'll do 2 more. Be sure to keep a steady rhythm to your breath, connecting into that. And then hand down to the floor, knee down to the floor. And we'll take the second side. So it starts with a strong core and those hip circles. So take your left leg back, sole of the left foot pointing up towards the ceiling, left knee lifted to about hip height. As you inhale, take your left knee out to the left, down towards your right knee, and then back up. 2 more circles. Try to stay toned into your core. And then change the direction of your circles. Bring your knee down, out to the left, and then back. 2 more. And then stretch the left leg straight back behind you, lifting it up to about hip height. On an exhale, bring your left knee towards your right elbow. So twist across, hug in, a little pause, and then inhale, reach back. Exhale, hug the knee in. Inhale, reach back. 1 more, squeeze it in. And then stretch back. Lower your foot down to the mat. And we'll take those 3 arm circles here. Inhale, left arm forward and up. As you take it up, also reach it back and then down towards your hip and the floor. 2 more circles around through the arm. And then hand down to the floor, knee to the mat. 1 more time, exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. And then tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Shift around as you like here. Maybe taking the hips side to side or bending one knee and then the other. And then press both heels into the floor. Come into relative stillness in your downward dog. We're gonna blow that veil or cloak right off. Take a big inhale through your nose. Push it off with your mouth. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Stand in forward bend. Hold onto your elbows. Release your head. Move your head around a little bit to loosen up your neck. And then hands to your hips. Inhale, stand upright. I'm going to turn to face you just so that you can see me, but you can face whatever direction you like. As you inhale, take both arms up. You're going to bend your right elbow and left hand will hold on to the tip of that elbow. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, arc over to the left. Hold what you've got there, put your weight over into your right foot, and then lift the left foot off the ground. Finding your balance. And then foot back down, inhale, both arms up. Exhale, sweep your arms out. Interlace your hands behind you, draw your shoulders back, forward fold. And then once you're in the forward bend, bring the hands away from your back. Inhale, back upright, take both arms up overhead, and then bend the left elbow, left palm to your upper back. Right hand holds onto the left elbow. Maybe slide the hand down a little bit more, and then exhale, arc over to the right. Put weight into your left foot, and then start to lift the right foot out to the right. Turning on the core a little bit. And working on your balance. Bring your foot back down, both arms up overhead. This time, exhale, hands to your heart. All right, remember, connect to your breath, connect mind, body, heart. Let everything flow in, let everything flow out, blowing off that mala that keeps you from connecting. Inhale, take your arms up, look up. Exhale, fold down into forward bend. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Lower down to the mat, widen the hands out, so rolling cobra. I like to be on the fingertips. You can be on the palms if that feels better for you. Lift into a little bit of a cobra and then roll your shoulders, one and then the other, alternating. Maybe let your head hang down a little bit so you can also stretch into your neck. Come into stillness, lift up into this modified cobra with the hands wide, and then exhale, lower down, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, lunge it up between your hands. Come up to warrior two. Find strength in your body. And then bring your back hand around behind your back. So we're binding the back hand, maybe working your fingers into your front hip crease. Listen to that left shoulder. On your exhale, side angle pose, first option is forearm to the thigh. Second option is fingertips on the floor. If you're bringing the fingertips down, let's bring them on the inside of the leg. That'll help us for where we're eventually going. Roll the top shoulder back, stay strong into your belly. And then inhale, lift up, reverse triangle. Keep the bind of the left arm, straighten the right leg, bring the right arm right by your right ear as you lean back. And then inhale, lift up. Keep that left arm bound. Turn your toes to face the left long side of your mat. And then take your right hand behind your back. See if you can get that right hand on the outer left hip. So double bind here behind the back. Take a breath in and then exhale, forward bend. Release the bind, both hands down to the ground, and just take a moment and notice how good it feels when you release that bind. That's like throwing off that mala, feeling that, connection. 4 side lunges. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, right. Stay high or go low. We're just doing 4 on this side. And then straighten your legs, fold in. One more time. Hands to your hips. Inhale, rise to stand. Triangle pose. Turn your right toes forward. Open your arms out front and back. Let your chest lift. Let that inner light shine. Reach forward and then fingers down to the ground or your block. Other fingers up to the sky. Roll the shoulder open. And then exhale. Hands down to the floor. One leg dog. Lift your right leg high. One leg vinyasa option. And we'll take the second side from here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, lunge it between your hands. Come up to warrior 2. Bind your back arm, bring it around. Maybe just hand onto your low back, maybe fingers into the left hip crease. Half bound side angle pose, forearm to thigh, or fingertips on the inside of your left leg to the floor. Roll your top shoulder open, take your gaze up. Inhale, lift up, keeping the half bind, straighten your front leg. Reverse triangle pose, left arm near the left ear as you reach back. And then lift back upright, turn to face the right long side of your mat, squaring your feet up. Bring that left arm behind. See if you can take a double bind behind your back here. Again, listen to the shoulders, keep that double bind, and then forward bend. Wide leg standing, forward bend. And then release the hands down. Oh, that feels good to let go of that, whatever's binding you or holding you back. 4 side lunges on this side. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Inhale, straighten and left. You got 2 more. 1 to each side. And then come to the middle. We'll fold in again here. Any hand placement you like to help you fold. And then hands to the hips. Inhale, stand upright. Triangle pose. Turn your front toes forward. Open your arms out. Big breath in, and then use your exhale to descend. Take your gaze up past your top hand. And then exhale. Hands down to the mat. One leg dog. Left leg lifts. One leg vinyasa. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat and fold over them. Inhale, stand up. Touch your palms overhead. Feel that connection. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here to just feel how moving the body a little bit and connecting your breath, mind, body, heart helps you turn up that inner light, that inner greatness, because we all need you to share it with us. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen, take your vinyasa here, whatever that means to you. I'm going to jump to chaturanga, but you can get to downward dog however you like. From downward dog, lift your right leg to the sky. Lift it a little bit higher, lifting, and then lunge your foot to the front of your mat between your hands. Warrior one, root into the back foot and lift upright. Heart opening pose here. So turn your light up, throw off your mala. Exhale, hands to your heart, twist to the right. So left arm hooks onto the right leg. Rotate around. And then on an inhale, release your hands to the floor and we'll straighten that front leg and fold down over it. Think about reaching your inner thighs, excuse me, back behind you as you fold over your leg. Then back into your knee and lift back up to warrior one. On your exhale, warrior three. Find your balance, find your core strength, and then grounded warrior three, that means the fingertips are on the floor. Keeping the hips stable and that left leg right where it is, walk your hands over to the right. So think about the center of your torso being at a diagonal to the right side of your mat. You might even be able to lift the left arm up and reach it to the right. And then inhale, walk your hands back to center. So we're going to come to a seat here by bending the right knee and then tucking the left leg under us so that our hip sits onto the left heel. Yeah, you got it. Inhale, take your right arm up. Exhale, fold down inside your leg. So right arm inside the right leg, and then reach the right arm back, reach the left arm back. You may be able to put the hands together and fold in here. So this is a cloaking pose, hiding your light under a bushel here. And then inhale, release the bind, hands down at the front of your mat. Standing split, so you're still standing on that right leg, lift the left leg up high, open up here, lifting that left leg a little bit more, and then gently stepping back to warrior two. We're almost there for this flow. And then from warrior two, we'll take bound side angle pose. So bring your left hand to your left hip, right arm on the inside of the right leg, reach it under the right leg, and then reach that left hand back and see if your hands will hook together or get close. And then pull both shoulders back, especially that left shoulder. Take your head back a little bit. And then inhale, release the bind, let it rip. Take your right leg back and up, one leg dog, one leg vinyasa. As you go through the vinyasa, stay connected with the breath, one movement. Okay, from downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high behind you, and then maybe try to lift it a little bit more, and then lunge your left foot up between your hands. Lift up to warrior one. Open the heart here, nothing holding you back, no binds, no malas. Exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the left, bring your right arm over, point your left elbow towards the ceiling, rotate around. On your inhale, release your hands down to the mat and straighten the front leg. Fold into it. And then back to warrior one. Bend back into the right knee. Inhale, lift up. On your exhale, warrior three. Hands can be in any position that works for you. And then grounded warrior three. Fingertips to the floor. Keep that right leg where it is. Hug into the belly to keep the pelvis stable. And then walk your hands over to the left. Push back through the right foot, reach out through the right arm, maybe even lifting the right fingers off the ground. And then walk the hands back to the center and take that seat. So bending the left knee and tucking the right leg underneath you. Take your left arm up into the air, and as you exhale, fold inside your left leg and then reach that left arm back. Maybe right arm comes back and you hook the hands together and fold in here. All right, it's time to let this one go. Release the hands back to the front of your mat, standing split, standing on the left leg, lifting the right leg into the sky. Let that inner brilliance in you shine out through that right foot, and then gently step back to warrior two. Bound side angle pose. Right hand to the right hip, left arm on the inside of the left leg, reach it back behind you, and then maybe the hands can hook together. Pull your left hip under a little bit, and then pull both shoulders back, especially the right one. Take your head back a little bit. And then inhale, let that one go. One leg dog, left leg lifts. One leg vinyasa. That's it. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or hop up. Fold over your legs. And then inhale, lift up, arms up high. Exhale, hands to your heart. So if you have a strap or something that works as a strap, you might put it at the front of your mat. You may or may not need it, but if it's around the front of your mat somewhere where it's accessible, it'll be good to have it there, maybe. And then once you're there, bring your big toes together and your heels just a little bit apart. We're going to take the arms up overhead. So we're going to go to a squat from here. So for most of us, the heels are going to have to come off the floor. Some of you might be able to keep the heels on the floor. But I want you to try to keep your shoulders over your hips. So don't hinge forward, but keep the shoulders right over the hips. Arms up overhead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees. My heels come off the floor now as I lower down. And then spread your knees apart, hands down between the legs onto the floor. There you go. First option is to walk those hands forward and fold in. We've got three options. Second one is to bring the hands back and push the upper arms into the knees and reach the chest forward. Third option is to keep the upper arms on the insides of the legs and take your hands back and wrap around the back of your foot or your heel, and then fold in here. And then let's let this one go. Release your hands down, straighten the legs, and notice how good it feels to let go of that binding or that tight holding in. Lengthen your spine forward halfway. Take your vinyasa. I'll meet you in downward dog. I'm skipping this vinyasa, but good for you if you're doing it. I'll see you in downward dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg back and up. And again, try to lift it a little bit higher. And then on your exhale, right knee to the outside of your right elbow. And then plant your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Lower your hips a little bit, take your chest forward, look forward. And then on an exhale, straighten your front leg. Think about reaching your inner thighs and your hips back behind you. Inhale, bend back into your right knee. Right hand is still on the inside of the right leg. And then take your right hand behind the right shin. Push that shin forward and lower down here to whatever degree works for you. If you're more comfortable having the back knee on the ground, you can do that. Just trying to get a little bit of hip opening, or for me, it's a lot of hip opening in here. And then release your hands so they're on the inside of that right leg. So we're going to step the left foot between the hands to come to a seat. Or come to a seat, however you can. It might be helpful if you come on the fingertips and then bring that left foot between the hands and out in front of you. Yeah, I'm going to turn and face you just so you can see. With your right arm on the inside of the right leg, grab your outer right foot and lift it up and then pull it back. We're going for compass pose or sundial pose. Left hand on the sole of the right foot. Right hand underneath the shin. Work that leg up high on your right arm. And then left palm on the top of the right foot. Take your right hand out to the side. Maybe peek your head through the window that you create with your arm and your leg here, and then pull your left shoulder back as you straighten that right leg or work it towards straight. Let your light shine out through your foot, and then inhale, release, but don't release the right leg down. We're going right into 8-limbed crooked pose. Hands on either side of the front leg, about mid-thigh. Lean forward. Your right glute is probably off the ground. Hook your left foot on top of your right foot. There we go. Take a breath in. Squeeze the elbows in. Lean forward more, and then push your feet out to the right. Squeezing the knees towards one another. Pulling in. And then inhale, release. Oh, wait. We got side two. Make your way to downward facing dog. If you feel like that sequence put a veil on top of you, we're going to work on removing it on this second side. Inhale, left leg back and up. Lift it a little bit higher, and then on an exhale, left knee to the outside of the left elbow, and then plant your left foot on the outside of the left hand. Lower your hips just a little and bring your chest forward. Think upward dog here in the upper back. And then straighten the front leg and fold over that leg, or just to the inside of that leg. Bend back into your knee. So we're going to step that right foot between the hands to come to a seat. Maybe if you come onto fingertips, it'll give you a little extra room to get that leg underneath. A lot of core lifting will help too. So take a breath in, use your exhale to work the leg through. All right, with your left hand, grab the outside of your left foot, lift it up, and then pull your knee back. And we'll work our way into sundial here. So with your right hand, grab the sole of your left foot, left arm on the inside of your leg, grab under your calf, and try to work that leg back. Change the position with your right hand, so right palm on the top of your foot and fingers wrap around the outer foot. Take your left hand out to the left. I like to be on fingertips. You can be on your palm. Take a breath in. Maybe work your head forward so you're really a little caved in the chest here, but we're going to change that on the exhale as we work the legs straighter and we pull the right shoulder back. On an inhale, bend your knee, keep your leg lifted up over your arm. If you need to reposition it, and then hands on the floor, lean forward. You're going to bend that right knee and put the right ankle on top of the left foot. I like to flex at the ankles to create a seal or a bind there. Take a breath in as you exhale. Squeeze the elbows in, squeeze the belly in and up, lean forward more, and then shoot your feet out to the side, squeezing the top leg down onto your left arm. And then inhale, release. We did it. Let's come onto our backs, but I gotta tell you, we're not gonna stay on our backs. We have one more standing pose to do on each side, but for now, come onto your back. Make fists and roll your wrists around. One way a few times, and then the other way a few times. Take your feet out as, we'll take a bridge pose here. Sorry about that. Feet hip width distance apart. Push into your upper arms and the back of your head. Squeeze the shoulder blades under you and then lift the hips up. Any variation of bridge pose that you want to take here, just to open up the front of the body. And then exhale, lower down, release the hands, walk the shoulders out. All right, let's make our way up to standing, however you want to get there. We're going to take on Bird of Paradise. When we just did that compass pose or sundial pose, that's close to Bird of Paradise. It's a little bit different. We're seated, we don't have the standing balance, but we're using a lot of the same positioning. So to get into, we're going to do Bird of Paradise first standing on the right foot. So take your feet a little bit wider. This is just going to give you room to get underneath the legs. And then take a forward bend here with your feet a little wider than you normally would have them in a forward bend. Put a little bend into the knees. You're going to take your left hand between your legs and reach it around so the back of your left hand is on your outer left hip or close, somewhere in that vicinity. Either with a strap in your right hand or just your right hand, reach up around and see if you can make a bind here. Once you've got that bind, we're still going to stand on the right foot. So bring that left foot closer to the right foot. Keep a bend in your left knee, or in your right knee. It might help if you lift your left heel off the floor, giving you just a little bit more lift. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, push down into the right foot. Start to stand up. You got it. We're pulling that left knee back behind us, keeping the bind, and then maybe you start to straighten your leg out and then twist even more around to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Notice what this feels like, and then use an inhale to release it. Feels like a champ when you release it. Releasing that binding, releasing what is covering you up. So let's get that feeling on the second side. So I like to start with the feet a little wider and take a forward bend. Put a little bend into your knees. It's going to make it easier to reach that right hand between your legs. And then bend that right elbow, trying to get your outer right hand onto your outer hip, or the back of your right hand onto your outer hip. Reach the left hand up and around. Maybe you have a strap here. And then work your right foot closer to the left foot. Maybe put on that high heel shoe on the right foot, lifting the heel up. Keep a bend into your left knee as you start the push off. And then once you get the lift off, you can start working that left leg straighter. There you go. Pull both shoulders back. If it feels right for your hamstrings, straighten that right leg out. Maybe turn and look over your left shoulder. Notice what this feels like to be bound up, and then use your inhale to release it. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Those were looking great. All right, this is not an elegant transition, but oh, let's take downward dog. That's not too bad of a transition. Downward dog. And then child's pose. Lower your knees down, take them wide, bring the big toes together, and then shift your hips back. If you can, put your forehead on the mat. If that's not working, maybe place something like a block or a book under your forehead so that you can just let your head be heavy here. We're going to keep the knees wide and slide forward onto our bellies. So with those knees still wide, you're going to bring the inner edges of the feet together. Hands under your shoulders. So I want you to think Cobra here. Knees are wide, hug your belly in, inner edges of the feet touching, and then lift your chest forward. So just lift to the degree that feels right for you. It should be a good stretch across the front body. And then exhale, lower back down. If you didn't have any pinching in your low back, maybe take the knees out a little bit wider again. Inner edges of the feet or soles of the feet touching. And then once again, inhale and lift up here. Bringing the chest forward, maybe an upward dog action. And then exhale, lower down. Straighten the legs back, bring them in about hip width distance apart. And we'll take one more back bend here just to open the front body back up. Hug the belly in, bend the knees, reach back, grab your feet or ankles. Hug the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor, and then lift off. Maybe you even close your eyes and feel that light from within you, that brilliance in you, shining out, nothing to cloak it or veil it or hide it. Also feel that energy coming back into you from others. And then exhale, lower down. Okay, now you can roll onto your back. And you're not going to have to get back up until the class is over. And you know, even then, you don't have to get up. Roll onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And rock over your back a few times. Keep your right knee in, stretch your left leg out onto the mat. And then you'll straighten that right leg. So right heel up towards the ceiling. One option is to interlace your hands behind your thigh. Another option is to grab your foot or your lower leg with your hands or with your strap. And as you're stretching across the back of the right leg, really lengthen out through the left leg as well. Let your head just be heavy here. And then still holding your right leg with your right hand or holding both ends of your strap in your right hand. Take your left arm to the left and your right leg to the right. On an inhale, lift your right leg up, and then left hand holds your right leg or your strap, and then take your right leg over to the left as you reach your right arm out to the right. Take your gaze out past your right hand, and then close your eyes. Let that right leg and your right arm be heavy. And then inhale, bring your leg back up, bend your knee and hug that knee in up towards your right shoulder. And then we'll change sides. Pull your left knee in, straighten your right leg out on the mat. So just maybe 2 breaths here with that left knee hugging in and the right leg straight. And then press your left heel up towards the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your leg. Or if you're really feeling it, you can walk your hands up your leg, maybe holding on to around the shin, maybe hands onto your foot or strap onto your foot. The more you pull that left leg over your left shoulder, reach out long through the right leg. And then holding on with your left hand, take your right arm to the right and take your left leg to the left. Inhale, bring your leg up, hold on with your right hand, take your left arm to the left, and then twist. Take your straight left leg over to the right. And then take your gaze out past your left hand, and then close your eyes. Inhale, bring your leg back up, bend that left knee, hug your left knee up towards your left shoulder. And then exhale, release, stretch your leg out. Take a moment to settle onto your back here. And then if you want an inversion from here, you can come into shoulder stand or legs up the wall. If you don't want an inversion, you're going to bend your knees, soles of the feet on the floor, arms at a T, and then windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Or invert, shoulder stand or legs up the wall, or any other inversion that you like. If your legs are windshield wipering, bring them to a stillness. And if you're upside down, start to begin lowering down. And then once you're on your back, legs straight, take a deep breath in through your nose. Last chance to blow off that veil or mala. Exhale through your mouth. 2 more of those on your own. So you can really make some noise there in your personal yoga studio if you like. But take this opportunity to really let it out, to blow it out. And then I'll talk you into a little bit of relaxation here. Bring your awareness to your throat and let the throat really relax. So you're not creating any sound with the breath. You're not damming the breath with your throat, you're just letting it flow. Bring your awareness to your belly and let your belly relax. No pulling in or pushing out. Just let the breath move the belly and feel that connection of breath moving in and movement in your body and breath moving out. Bring your awareness to your forehead and let the muscles across your forehead and your brow relax. Bring your awareness to your eyes. Let the eyes be soft. So instead of pinching the eyes closed, just allow them to naturally close with an ease. And just imagine that your eyeballs are heavy and they're moving towards the back of your skull, down towards the floor, softening. Bring your awareness to your cheeks and allow the muscles across your cheeks to soften. Soften into your jaw and your lips and your chin. Let your whole head be heavy. Let your arms and your hands be heavy. Imagine even that the bones have gotten heavier and they're sinking into the floor, and that the muscles that wrap around the bones are releasing their grip and melting. Release from your upper back down into the floor, mid back and low back. Let your body melt. Soften down through your legs and your feet. Let any tension that remains in your low body flow out through your legs and out the soles of your feet. And then imagine that the light within you, that brilliance within you, that divinity within you has a color, whatever color you like. And let that color shine out from your heart unfiltered. No veil, no cloak, no mala, nothing holding back your light. And then finally, imagine that if you looked out across the universe, you would see countless other lights shining, all different colors, and you let some of that light back into your heart. Just as your breath flows easily in and out here, allow that energy to flow in and out. Become more aware of your breath. Take a deeper inhale and a longer exhale. Feeling that exchange of energy in and out of your body on the breath. Feeling that exchange of light from you to others and from others to you. And use some of that energy to reawaken your body, move your fingers and your toes. Feel that you are uncloaked and free. Stretch your arms overhead, reach your legs long. Feel that freedom in your body you created through your practice. Feel the freedom of hopefully mind and heart you also created. And then on an exhale, bend your knees, roll to your side. Take a moment here to honor yourself, to honor that brilliance inside of you, that light inside of you that the world needs, and to honor others for sharing with you, connecting. On an exhale, come up to a seat and close your eyes. And then join your hands together at your heart, remembering this joining together of hands like the joining together of souls. I hope as you go through your day, you're able to reach out and make a connection, whether it's over the phone or the computer, or maybe a physical connection you can make with someone when it's safe for you, so that your light mingles with theirs and you create something brilliant together. We'll take one moment to join our energies together, to join our lights together and send that light out to all of those in need, all of those in a storm, physical or psychic. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.